Alrighty, are we already live? I think we're live. Anyway, we don't have any intro music. I was gonna work on an intro. I did start working on an intro, and I'm gonna show you guys some of that tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. And I was just gonna get some things lined up. I'm gonna get the where's my mouse pointer? We're gonna get the chat up on screen. Oh, is that the chat? Okay, I found a new way to do stuff on VStream. I'm just kind of tweaking it. Yeah, it looks like I can't use the built-in feature in VStream to show the chat messages on screen, but that's all right because we're gonna just do it the way we did it a few weeks ago. So give me 1 second to get that YouTube, chat window up, and then we're gonna go for it. Chat. Firefox. Okay, good. That's the Firefox chat. And then we're gonna put this like that. Then I'm gonna put this like this. Oops. Yeah, what happened was I had to restart OBS because I had to basically I had to set it up to whatchamacallit. Oops. I had to set it up how do I phrase it? I'm sorry. A little toasty there, just a little sweaty. Yeah, my audio filter, that's it. I'm sorry, my brain got sidetracked. There we go. So we got a little chat window. We can copy and paste that wherever we need it. And we're going to take a look at my upper monitor, which I'm sure my Stream Deck will be slow. Oh, good, it worked. And then we're going to shuffle this over to here. Put it, there we go, I got chat window. Oh my God, it's so toasty in here. I'm about to turn the air conditioner back on. Let's see, let's open the window real wide and see how we do. Get a little ventilation in here. How are you guys doing tonight? I see we got some people in the chat. So as you can see, I have the video game Beam NG Drive on the screen. And we're going to try to shrink the chat and put it I don't know, up here perhaps? And we're going to get right into it. We're going to do a little AI driving today so that we can prove to Floral from under a rock that Petey can be trusted to drive his car. And I'm going to be looking this way a lot today because unfortunately that is where the good monitor is at the moment. So last week, it's funny, I was watching Abomination AJ and I had this cool idea to take the monitor arm. I have one of these monitor arms that has a clamp. You put it on the edge of your desk. Hey, where's my camera? See, that's how last minute this setup was. Although I actually prepped. Ooh, I'm big. I did I did some preparation. I did some preparation earlier today, and then I did the thumbnail for the stream, which came out pretty nice, but didn't get time to do anything else, So we're gonna be using the Sony PlayStation 5 controller, although I may not be doing a lot of driving, so let me explain what we're looking at here. So this is the AI map for Beam NG, and the way it works is you could drive on it just for kicks, right? You could just drive around for fun. But you'll notice in these thumbnail images, we have semi-trailers, whatever you call the big trucks. I guess they're called tractor-trailer trucks going downhill, and you'll notice there's multiple cars. And although I would imagine you could do multiplayer here, the intent here is, I think, mainly for spawning multiple automated cars. Why, thank you, Amber. And yeah, it is good to see Amber M. James, who's got coffee in the kitchen. Help yourself. It's very kind. Thank you for the offer of coffee. I need to get my my something. Okay. I just need a sweat rag. It's crazy. You take a shower and you're still sweating when you come out. All right, let's get this going here. So we got a pickup truck, and I can drive it, but we're gonna do some AI now. By the way, YouTube is yelling at me saying that the stream is experiencing buffering issues, but I don't think that's true. Right? I mean, this is buttery smooth, right? There's no issue here. So I'll investigate that on my own time, but it's kind of funny how that works sometimes. So, you know what? Let's try something simple here. Let's clone the car so that we can get going. So we just do this, we clone it. By the way, do you guys have game audio? You can hear the truck rumbling. Oh, you do have game audio, but let me tell you, it's probably going to be a bit on the loud side. So I'm going to lower that by a significant margin right now. So if at any point you think the audio is too low, just let me know. But yeah, YouTube is freaking out. YouTube is all like, oh, your streaming quality is not good. And I'm like, no, my streaming quality is the best. Well, let me lower the audio there. Okay, so let's keep duplicating the car. And then maybe we'll log into the telescope. Yeah, I came home. The weather's going to be clear tonight and tomorrow. So I was like, this is a good time to, you know, fire up the telescope. And there was some, you know, issues the last week because I think somehow water got onto the telescope. Actually, yeah, water got onto the USB hub. But this time it wasn't the USB hub. What was the issue was the one of the external cameras, in particular the Meteorite wide angle lens camera. And so I think it was kicking off a short circuit in the USB hubs. And basically, like, I couldn't get my cameras to behave at all. So basically there's many ways to skin a cat on this, but essentially what, oops, yeah, the game lets you do that. You can just drop a car from the air. And so we're going to continue cloning cars. Now, how many cars is too many? Well, it depends on what vehicle you load. So we're going to be replacing some of these trucks with a much more massive vehicle in a little while. But we're going to start with this. So the way this works is you switch to your main car, right? And you tell the other cars perhaps to maybe follow you. And this is going to be pretty tame. Okay, I promise you, this one's going to be boring. But what you do is, see that they're literally following me. They're going to slow down. They're going to drive in an orderly manner. It's like I have my own little convoy of friendly cars. And you know, it's pretty simple. It's not real AI, of course. It's more like along the lines of video game AI. Now, the boring thing about... Oh, my car's really damaged, so we're just going to put it to a stop. See, they all kind of decide that they're good. And then you can tab over and watch the other cars, but it's kind of dull what they do. Oops, sorry, I just want to get the chat window up on my top screen, my bottom screen. So now, see, these guys are trying to turn around. They're not going to make it. They're not going to come back to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to restart the simulation now. And what we do is we just respawn everything. And apparently some of these cars are... There we go. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't give it a... Okay. I see what happened here. Alright, so we're going to take this car, and we're going to put him in the front, make him the leader of the pack. We're going to pause the simulation again. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace some of the cars. And then I'm going to get to the chat. Well, actually, you know what? I got a better idea. We're going to do something different here. We're going to tell all of the cars to flee so that I can read the chat. And then we can tab through the cars while they're doing that. So we go back to the command menu. We stop the AI, which I don't think we actually have to do. But we're going to say flee. And then while these cars are fleeing, we can tab through them and read the chat. Oh, now here's the caveat. When you tell the cars to flee, I don't think they care what direction they're going in. So they get a little bit dumb. And that's what we're witnessing here. They're getting a little stupid here. Like, apparently, they're trying to do some kamikaze runs on themselves. So that was interesting. I've never really witnessed it do it exactly that way, but now we're going to make this a bit more fun. We're going to replace some of these cars with a heavy-duty car, then we'll visit the chat. So what car am I going to choose? Well, while this game does have many realistic vehicles, we're going to choose an ATTE. Now, I don't know if it matters if I choose the heavy terrain model, but we're going to do the heavy terrain model. Okay, there's an ATTE, right? I'm going to load another one here. And we're only going to do 2 ATTEs. I'm going to duplicate a few more semis, or whatever they're called. I think James had the name of the vehicle type. Pickup truck, I guess. I think it's a pickup truck, right? So anyway, we're going to go ahead. We're going to duplicate this one. This one's probably going to duplicate on top of the neighboring car. It's going to get a little messy. Oh, good. It's not too bad. Oh, that's a nice wind gust. Oh, that's a lovely wind gust. Now, one of the benefits to duplicating the same car, although it can be boring, is you do get a slight, advantage in regard to, performance, because the computer don't have to work as hard. But what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate some of these a bit more downrange, because I want to make sure that we can, they can get run over, because that's my goal. And then we can load a different map, but this map I think has a lot of cool accoutrements. Is that the right word? Now, I should note that as I duplicate the cars, even when I keep them the same, it is going to start to have a impact on performance, and that's okay. I mean, it's like your frame rate drops, basically. That's what happens. So now what I'm trying to do is I want to have this truck. Yeah, let's start with this and we'll take it from there, all right? So, let's see what happens. But before I do, I got to go back to the main car and we got to reissue the AI command. I believe if I just say flee, it'll update the command, but we're going to stop and flee. And let's see here. Did I miss anything in the chat? Now, let me know if the audio is too loud. See, I told you the frame rate would tank. Oops, sorry. So the vehicle you're looking at, those are called ATTEs. You see them in the Star Wars prequel movies, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. And it's a pretty good model. They're probably among the more indestructible vehicles in this game, since they are fictional. Wait. Oops, I gotta get the... There we go. Is that the right view? Yeah, that's the cockpit view right there. Right there. And they're basically going to run it to the end. So in the meantime, I did not see your message, Mr. Wade. How you doing, Wade? Good to see you, bud. Oh, yeah, I think I was supposed to have you on this week. Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to have you on again, though. This is one of those streams where I'm streaming directly from OBS. And I mainly did that because I forgot if I was having any guests on. Like, I reached out to Disney Sheepherder, and he was like, "You're not planning on being on?" So I was like, "Oh, yeah, no guests." But whenever I do through OBS, like, there is a way to use OBS and have multiple people on at the same time. like without using the virtual camera. I've just never done it. Like you would do it through Discord or something like that. Now, how's the audio, guys? Is the game audio too loud? Is it, you know, a little bit booming? Ah, you know what? My PC audio is a little bit loud. That. Testing 1, 2. There we go. That explains a lot, actually, why I was getting a ton of background noise. Oh, yeah. There we go. The noise cancellation is a bit better. Yeah, whenever I click on another application, it does that. Okay, I'm turning off the... Good. I turned off the noise cancellation because it's not necessary. It's loud. Okay, thank you, Amber. I'll take care of that right now. The customer isn't always right, but generally it doesn't hurt to listen. Right, that should be an improvement. I might make it a bit too low, but one thing I learned from the Great Punk Waddle is if the game audio is too loud, people can't hear you. Is it lower now? Oh wait, it's still loud. I gotta lower it a lot. Okay, that's a bit more reasonable, I hope. Let me know if that's still too loud. Yeah, and it's gonna go off every time I change the volume. I can make it lower. Alright, so not the most exciting thing, right? But, you know, it worked. So we're going to pause this simulation and we're going to reload. And this time, we're going to put more, I think we're going to put more everything. Well, we're going to figure something out here. So I want to see these cars get run over. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. But I guess it's too late. What's up there, Pop Culture Mechanic? Yay, tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesdays are a happy day for me. I get to tune into Trades Talk on Tuesday night. I get to celebrate the beginning of my weekend. And that's basically most of it, I guess. Oh, hey. You're still here. Here, go back here. You know what, here, I'm going to put you somewhere where you can get run over. There you go, vehicle. Oh, he's a little crooked. He's still crooked. Alright, we're not getting any better than that. Yeah, I want to make sure, like, every vehicle has an opportunity to get destroyed before we changed the road or revise what we're doing map-wise, you know what I mean? Alright. We still got more cars we can choose from, you know? Alright, last vehicle. There we go. So now... It looks like a cement mixer from hell somewhat. Well, it does, right? Yeah. I think it's actually called the ATTE Juggernaut, and on a different map, or on a more straight road, what I did was I loaded AI traffic instead of manually loading cars. And when you load AI traffic, things get pretty interesting. But, you know, this vehicle is quite the juggernaut. I mean, look at that. It just keeps going. Now, once in a while, an entire car will get stuck underneath the, you know, suspension, and that doesn't really help. But, and that one looks like it's, oh yeah, this guy's been stopped in his tracks. Looks like he's got like a fender. Yeah, he's got a fender stuck in his fender. That's what you call it. Oh, my own. Oh, shit. I'm part of my language. Well, I'm glad that worked. Now, if we want to just start with different cars, we can do that. Now, what do you guys think? What kind of car you want to see? You want to see some race cars? You know what? I got an idea. Where's my car? Is that my car? Okay. Wait, that's not my car. I need to find my car. Am I controlling any of these cars anymore? Oh, there's my car. Hope this doesn't make anyone too dizzy. Okay, that was my car right there. Okay, I don't think that's my car. I think it's this one. Okay. Whoops. So, we're going to do a couple of things different. One, we're going to bring this car upgrade like a lot. Two, we're going to cycle through every car. I want that ATTE in the front. All right, now this is where it's gonna get wild. It's gonna be wild. All right, you ready to get wild, guys? I hope I didn't miss any important chat messages aside from Wade's, which I do apologize. I didn't get to the Twitter messages before starting the stream. Up until the point I start the stream, I can basically adjust whether or not I'm running it through OBS or not. Although I think it does change the stream link. I used to have a 1992 with the V6 and 5-speed. It was a great truck. Ah, interesting, James. This is oddly I know, right? I know it is. It is oddly relaxing, Amber. Right, we're gonna do Chase Me now. This is less than relaxing if you actually, don't want to get your car hit. But we're gonna be careful because so follow me makes the cars follow you in an orderly manner. Flee makes the cars run in a less than orderly manner. And Chase Me, like, basically means they're going to chase you at all costs. And it gets a little messy when they do this. So right here, these guys are going to try to ram me here. They're doing it. They're gonna trip all over each other to try to kill me. I appreciate you, Wade. I should give them a chance to get me. Oh, my headphones are falling off. And even if I was on the side of the road, in fact, if I was really smart, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to the side of the road so that they chase me into the yonder. See, look, they're coming after me. It's like the Iron Man movie when War Machine's like, War Machine, coming at you! Oh, this one's not being bright. That one's messed up again. These guys are just like thinking they'll gradually get me eventually, I guess. I mean, heck, I'm still able to drive. I'm gonna get back into control of the car. See if I get Flea on my own. Oh no, I'm dead. I should have gone down the grassy slope while I had a chance. Oh, this car's messed up anyway. Sometimes I think the AI gets a little glitched out on here and it starts to like forget or lose purpose. Oh no, it's got a sense of purpose, alright. Even the messed up cars keep going. That guy was coming at me. What direction is that ATTE facing right now? I'm surprised this one. I want this one to run me over. I thought they were 10s. Then I thought maybe F-150. Not sure. I wish I got... Oh, no, 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 no. I want him to run over me with the wheels. I don't want to be run over with the car. Oh, I messed up his wheel. Oh, well. Yep, drives like a Chevy. Well, that car's pretty messed up, so I don't think he's gonna get me. Now, what other parts of the map do we have at our disposal? Well, we got this cool ramp, right? We could have everything drive down this ramp if you guys want. We have this wavy one. We have this icy one here. That's kind of fun. The mud road could be a lot of fun, too. I'm going to do the mud road unless anybody has any interest in any particular road. And then before I wrap up, which I will hopefully wrap up on time because, you know, trying to, you know, in fact, I should dim my lights. Hopefully the light isn't too dark for the chroma key to work. But it'll hopefully help me to sleep. So, see, basically, we're just going to reload the cars on the new road. Now, what was I talking? I had something I was going to talk about topic-wise. Can't remember what it was right now, but is my shirt inside out? No, it's not. Okay, good. Yeah, so like, I gotta update the PD costume of this week, and basically the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna install some EVA foam on the inside of the carbon fiber, and I'm gonna use contact cement, spray on contact cement, in order to you know, get it to like, you know, get the inside. Basically, I want to have an inside lining. Oops. I want to have an inside lining that's soft because right now the carbon fiber has like hard bits. It's got like different textures. It's kind of like, you know, a little bit like, you know, somebody's like rough in some areas, you know, and so I want to have like a nice soft lining, but also if I'm going to wear something like that, I want to make sure that the shoulders are somewhat padded. Uh-oh, we can't put the car there. There we go. And then, you know what, we're going to delete some of the cars because that will help the thing run a bit faster. Oh, that's not a car we're going to delete. We want to keep that one. Now, another puppet project that I don't talk about a lot, but something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I just haven't had a chance because it requires, like, I don't know. First of all, I didn't even know where to begin, but there's a character from a book called The Strike. And the Strike, that's like, it's almost like the word strike, but for SH in the beginning. The Strike is sort of like a life form, perhaps a robot, perhaps a machine, perhaps a biological, that that's the wrong map, although I bet this one would be interesting. That one's very tempting to load. That's like a straight up mud race. So what happens, I keep mixing up the mud and the dirt off-road with each other. But anyway, so this creature looks like it's made of barbed wire. Like it looks like it's got like a rib cage that is made out of like chrome, and it's like basically like it's just a big scary creature from some planet. And in the universe, in the book it's from, it's kind of like known for like, you know, like, how do I phrase it? It's in a particular part of the planet where a group of religious people go on a pilgrimage every like few years. And when they go on that pilgrimage, it's almost like they either are so devout that they are okay with dying at the hands of the Strike, or they're suicidal, or maybe both. And so, you know, this thing will come out, and like if you're in the right region of the planet, it'll come and get you. But as the book goes on, a situation happens where like a group of poets, like basically like this king from a planet called Asquith, which he was basically like a descendant of the royal kings, but now he's on his own planet. he decides he wants to set up a place called the City of Poets. So, you know, because there was like a big mystery in this area. They have these tombs called the Time Tombs, and even though they're old as heck, for some reason the Time Tombs don't look old at all, and nobody knows why. And they not only do they not look old, but they can measure that time is kind of moving backwards in these Time Tombs. So there's that, but not to mention, once again, the strike. If you show up there, the strike kills you. And yet, for some reason, he's cool with this, or he's not afraid of this. I forget exactly why. Maybe it's because the strike wasn't a big deal at the time. But as they're setting up this city, this town, this village, the strike starts to really, you know, assert its presence. And, you know, all kinds of people getting killed and impaled. And some people suspect that when people get kidnapped by the strike, that it impales them on its tree of thorns. Yeah, tree of thorns. And you're onto something. It is indeed a bird, and that's exactly where the mythology or the character comes from, because essentially in real life there's a bird called the strike, and it takes its prey and it impales it on trees, on the branches. Like, it'll impale the branches through the body of whatever it's, you know, planning to eat, almost like storing food in a pantry. My shirt is on backwards. It's not on backwards, but this collar don't feel right. I don't get it. Like, I don't see the size on this shirt, but it don't feel right. I knew I should have gotten a different shirt. It didn't feel right. Anyway. So yeah, the real life bird also impales its prey on barbed wire, which is kind of ironic because the tree of thorns in the book is like made of metal, and it's like not known the original source of it, but you know, it's like just that's what it is. And the strike is the living embodiment of the crown of thorns, according to David Glenn. That's pretty cool. Goodness gracious. What's up, Floral? Hey, I'm working out the bugs on PD's self-driving capabilities. I was wondering, Floral, would you trust, you know, next time you have to go on a Bible retreat to Great Niagara, would you trust PD to drive you? I mean, look, I'm working very hard. Look, we're getting a lot of research data here. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? What could oh, we gotta delete this car. What could possibly go wrong, Floral? Hey, what up, Salty? I got one of your videos queued up. I got two of your videos queued up in my playlist, but what happened was I started watching Stargate SG-1 at work today, and boy, the time flies when you watch Stargate during downtime on a holiday weekend. So this is Beam NG Drive. What we're gonna do is I gotta figure out which car is mine, and then we're gonna load the AI driving again. Okay, so that's my car. So now we're gonna tell all of these cars to in fact, we're gonna have these cars go fully automatic. So we're gonna tell the AI all cars must flee, including those behind us. And we're gonna let it roll. Now every car is automated. And we can switch between the different cars. See, look, Floral. See, wouldn't you trust? Look, how much would you're gonna say you don't trust PD to drive your car? Like, assuming that your car is the big one, what could go wrong? Sure, you get a little bit of criminal liability, maybe. But I mean, as long as you're not in a pickup truck or some puny car, I mean, you'll be fine if PD's driving your car. Oh, more undercarriage damage. I think we should load more ATTE so that we can mitigate the damage. Yeah, I mean, this car's a real juggernaut. Now, another cool thing I did the other day was I loaded like 10 of these. And you could probably, like, you know, make a movie. If you're making a Star Wars movie, like we have a friend in the community, in the group named, he's in the group of friends, I guess you would say, right? His name is Crit. And he makes this thing, Star Wars Revitalized. And he essentially uses, I believe, a combination of generated imagery and game imagery and voiceovers in order to, like, you know, produce like an alternate version of Star Wars. And You know, I'd imagine if he needed ground vehicles, this would be a great way to do it, except that this is the only ground vehicle I got that I have from Star Wars. Alright, let's reload everything. Too much green, not enough depression, Salty. This looks like driving in Seattle, honestly. Yeah, because Seattle probably has mad dirt roads because they can't be troubled to pave anything. Now, you know, I used to look down on places with no paved roads, but apparently paved roads are more of a luxury in some parts of this state. I don't know how much so, but that's what I've been told. And as much as I like New York in some ways, there's plenty to not like about New York, as you guys might know. Well, I'm sorry for making you dizzy, guys. I'm trying to get a alternating view. Okay, these guys have gone derpy mode. Oh. Okay, he's getting run down. Landmines, big ones. Need landmines to really test this thing out. That's an interesting one, Popcorn Spaghetti. It's the Tesla self-driving program upgrade. They are adding this month. You're not selling me on self-driving cars with this. Just saying. Yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, Salty, I'm not trying to sell you on a self-driving car. I'm trying to sell Floral on a self-driving car because you see what happened was a while back, Floral was out on some Bible retreat, on like a road trip, or he's on his way back from a retreat, and you know, he joined the stream and, you know, by telephone. So, you know, PD was on stream, and, you know, or me dressed as a robot was on his show, and so I'm suggesting, or PD was suggesting, hey, you should let me drive your car because, you know, I'm a robot and, you know, I'm perfect for self-driving cars. And Flora's like, yeah, no, you're not driving my car. And yeah, and I mean, maybe that's a wise thing to do, but, you know, I felt offended, so I was like, we gotta try to, you know, sell Floral on this idea. So I'm trying to show him the safety features. Well, okay, maybe I didn't get really any safety features on here, but, you know, I mean, it works. Safety's secondary anyway. I mean, come on, like you can't be worried about safety all the time. I mean, look, Floral, your soul is safe. You're a preacher. Now, I know Floral would actually say that his soul is no safer than anyone else's soul. And that's probably true, but coming from, you know, the Catholic upbringing, where basically, what the heck is this? Okay, I've never seen, see these cars up here? I've never seen them. The ones on the top, like the top, like half of the screen where it says AI paste notes. I don't even know what I'm looking at. But it looks like one of these vehicles is designed to be driven on the moon, or at least on lunar gravity. So it's probably a heavier car. This says AIP, so I don't know if that actually means air independent propulsion, but in submarines they have this thing called AIP, and basically air independent propulsion is exactly what it sounds like. It's you know, it's like basically like submarines that run on diesel engines, they need air in order to run their diesel engines. And so typically back in the days, submarines, just like we covered this weeks ago, I think we did some U-boat driving recently. The boats have to drive on the surface during the daytime. I think we're gonna pick one of these weird cars. I don't actually know what's gonna happen here, but we're gonna pick one of them anyway. They have to drive like boats. So submarines behave like boats when they're on the surface. And they recharge their batteries while running their conventional engines. When they're underwater, they'll run on battery power. I don't know what's special about this car, if anything at all, but it looks cool. It looked cool. But look, see, look, Floral. All you gotta do is get a roll cage. I don't mean to be talking to Floral. I'm sure he's gotta go to bed soon. I mean, I do mean to be talking to him, but, you know, I love keeping the gag up about the self-driving car. But also, you know, look, if you had a roll cage in your car, and this applies to anybody, not just Floral. If you have a roll cage in your car, a self-driving car is clearly much safer. I mean, look, the car's still moving because the driver's not in any danger. Look, he just has to hunch his head down a little bit so that, you know, he doesn't hit the metal bar. It's all good. You gotta have a co-pilot in here. I bet the other cars are already destroyed too. I don't even see the ATTE. Technically, most cars have roll cages. I remember when I was a child, I went to the Saturn retail store. Well, I guess there was a Saturn car dealership. And Saturn, I'm pretty sure, was like a subsidiary of General Motors, but they would pretend they weren't. And they made a big hoopla about having like a no hassle sales policy. Like, you show up at the dealership and they treat you like you're nice. They don't bug you to buy the car. Like, they don't get all creepy like most car dealers do when, like, you know, you're about to walk out and they freak out. But, like, they had, like, the car on display, and they said, hey, look, we got safety features. And they're like, look inside the door of the car. There's an orange metal bar that will protect you when something hits the side of the car. And in retrospect, I'm thinking, like, doesn't every car have that? Like Floral says, I'm not letting PD drive. Let me see. Can I do the voice? I'm not letting PD drive. That's my Floral green guy voice right there. The pickup trucks are running for their little lives. It's so cute. Do we need like another type of car, something slower perhaps, or do we just need more pickup trucks? Like, what other vehicles do we have at our disposal? And maybe we want to pick something like, oh, you know what's a good car to pick? Oh yeah, I got it. So this slows down the performance a lot, but remember the last part of this game we were playing where we had those little stairs where the cars would jump off? So when you use the log truck we're about to load right now, when it hits those bumps, sometimes the logs fall off. And it's awesome because when the logs fall off, they stay on the ground and then the cars have to hit them. So maybe if we do like, I don't know if they're going to fall off over here. Yeah, look at that. The green meanie's already trying to get the blue car. Uh-oh. What's going to happen here? Oh, that's lame. See, those logs are trying to fall off. You can see the logs want to fall off. I think we need to load like 5 more ATTEs. This is oddly relaxing. It's like, you know, just when you think you got it all figured out, something else happens that you don't expect. I mean, it's not the most exciting vehicle mode I've seen. I think I saw a Baywatch episode about this. Logging truck gonna be fined. Logging truck gonna be fined. How's my Kamala? Is that good? Is my head frozen, or is that just the camera view that I'm seeing in the delayed screen? Okay, I can see my head moving. It's like I'm not. A drawing tablet is off. That's why I have OBS running. I don't want my drawing tablet on. It gets warm. Yeah, that logging truck's gonna be fine. And you can thank unions. Paid sick leave, thank the union. I watched a video today of Camilla, and she was all like putting on this. She has a new accent again. And this time the accent was like, she was trying to be like a Detroit union worker. I guess, you know, like, I don't know, you know. I guess she thought she was trying to sound working class. And it sounded pretty bad. Sounded pretty dumb. I mean, really. And then I remember a week ago, like, I was kind of like, I commented a few weeks ago about Kamala and how she changes her racial identity from time to time. And then some guy's like, oh, well, she's way smarter than you. I'm like, okay. Doesn't mean anything. Like, that doesn't change the fact that she changes her racial identity depending on the audience. So, interestingly, Pop Culture Mechanic would know something about this. They're using nylon, I believe they're using nylon straps on here, but they do get undone after enough rattling. But I think we need to load this on some other part of the map. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna load up here, even though this is probably a crazy idea. My drawing tablet was using 50% of my memory because I had crap on if and on crap on it, not crap on if. I was like, crap on if? If what? Crap on it. That's why Fortnite was crashing. Ah. Huh. So I wonder if that's like the background process. Because I know, like, you know, my drawing tablet, I have an XP pen, they call it. And it has like a thing that runs in the background, right? And I can close it. I can right click on it. But I don't think it uses enormous amounts of memory in my case. Although, you know, maybe, you know, by proportion of total memory, maybe it uses less because I have 64 gigs. But, what was the thing that was eating the life out of my computer recently? There's always something on the computer that does that, right? You know, I can't think of a good example right now, but there's always some app or something that really pushes things beyond the limit. I'll catch you later, Amber, and I'll be in contact about the project, or as they say in Spanish, the proyecto, which I don't know if that's how they say it in Spanish. Yo, speaking of Spanish, which is not a Spanish country, they speak Portuguese. Holy cow, Portugal, not Portugal, Brazil. Like, how much does that suck? Like, that they want people, they want to threaten people with like $9,000 a day fines for circumventing the Twitter and Rumble ban. I mean, it appears that the judge who declared that is going to have to get bent, but it's still messed up because, I mean, like, you know, people are scared. Some people are going to be scared to defy a ruling like that. I mean, imagine, like, you know, how many kids are like telling their parents, look, I'll use a VPN, and parents like, no Rumble for you. Then again, I don't know if that many kids go on Rumble to be, you know, if I'm being realistic, I don't think that many kids go on Rumble, but still, it's a matter of principle, because, I mean, Rumble, like, you know what the problem is? Like, they want to ban Rumble, but what about BitChute? And I'm not saying they should ban BitChute, but I mentioned them because BitChute is like a literal hive of like Yahtzees. Like, I mean, like, I have a channel on there, and I use that channel because it's the only place I can put really, really sketchy stuff without worrying about it being taken down. But it's like the comments on there, the videos. I mean, I did a stream a while back where I played some videos on Rumble. I mean, not Rumble, BitChute. But what it was I remember there was a video. It was called "The Economics of the Third Reich," and it was basically one of these videos where the guy's like saying how the Third Reich really had it right, and the Allies had it in for the Nazis, and they were actually doing great stuff, and they were doing public works, and their GDP was up, and it's like, nah, bro. Like, I mean, the GDP was up for the Third Reich, but it wasn't because, like, you know, they had like an economic master plan. I mean, well, they had an economic Führer plan, I guess. But, nah, jokes aside, it's like, it's easy to have full employment when you have, like, prison labor. and stuff like that, you know? And there was like a few factors, but once the first 3 months of the war went by, you know, the fundamentals were not sound anymore. I mean, they had to take land to get resources, and as they got onto the losing side of that war, yeah, you know, not a success, not an economic success story. I would not look to the Third Reich as an economic success story, although I can see why people would have gotten that perception at the earlier stages of that war. All right, I think we're going to lose an Imperial engineer. That's the person driving the vehicle. And I do want, yep, Imperial engineer has been reset. And by reset, I mean they're going to one of the afterlife locations of their choice. Good evening, Alistair Queen Emma. Thanks for joining, Alistair's Queen Emma. Nice to meet you. I don't know if I've ever seen you here before, and if I have seen you before and I forgot, I apologize. Yeah, we're having a fine night. I hope you're having a fine evening as well. Right now we're just doing a little AI driving, which is, you know, video game AI, not real AI, of course, not machine learning either, which is not real AI, but at least it's the colloquialism. And, you know, just kind of having fun with this on the eve of my final day of work for the week. Let's pause the simulation and reload the cars that we can reload. So, the unfortunate thing is the logging vehicle, like, it doesn't really leave that many logs anywhere where it would be fun. If you like tech, turtles, and astronomy, you will want to follow DJ Ronnie G. Oh, thank you, Pop Culture Mechanic. It's true, I do all of those things. Well, I don't do turtles. I engage in astronomy, and I keep turtles. I keep them under my care. Right? I don't like to say I own my turtles, although I guess technically I do, because if they need to go to a vet, I'm footing the bill. And I'm quite fond of my turtles. They're really good guys. I mean, they're really good girls. It's actually 2 girls and a male tortoise. One of them is named Puffy. The other turtle is named Squirtle. I adopted her from someone at my old job. And then you got Londo. He's the tortoise. He's the Russian tortoise, or horsefield tortoise, which is actually named after the scientist who discovered the species. They do not live in a horse field, but yeah, that's why they're called a horsefield tortoise. And we're just gonna respawn our cars here, and then I think we're gonna load one more map after this, and so we're gonna run a little bit later than I'd like to, but that's all right. I mean, well, I actually don't mind running a little bit late, but you know, like I said earlier, was I should really end the stream early, but I say that every week, don't I? I am just trying to get better because I don't feel... I hear you. Well, Emma, I hope you feel better. And, you know, if there's anything I can do, if you want to see a particular car doing any kind of activity on this map, let me know. I mean, I know it's like a last minute, you know, offer. It's like, what car? But, you know, if there's like a car that I have, if you want to see like a truck running over a truck, or you want to see trucks driving in an orderly manner, even though that might not be as exciting, if that's what you want to see, I'll do my best to make it happen. But right now, we're going to have these vehicles drive in a somewhat semi-disorderly manner down this muddy road here. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And if I know what's good for this big logging truck, I'm going to put him up here because, in fact, I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm going to put it up here anyway. I got to drop off having an old person night. See you all later. I almost misread that as I'm having an old person over tonight. But nah, you have a good night, David Glenn. Have a pleasant sleep. And if I know it's good for me, I'll also go and attempt to have a good night's sleep too. If I know it's good for me. I may not know it's good for me. Now, if you like puppets that are PG-13 at the worst, you know, mostly they're rated PG, I would recommend checking out Floral from Under a Rock. He has a quality show, and he has a dear friend on there named Punkwaddle. He's a penguin puppet, actually, right? And, you know, he's a positive influence. I think, like, you know, if kids behave more like Punkwaddle, they would be good kids. And if more adults behave like Punk Waddle, I might have more friends in real life. I got plenty of friends, but let's see here. One more. Hopefully, it is the last truck. Okay, good. There's too many trucks here. Yeah, no doubt, man. Thank you. I appreciate being able to jump onto your show on occasion. Oh goodness, what did I just press? Uh-oh, that's backwards. That happens sometimes. All right, now, did I load any new vehicles? I don't think I did. So these should all go automatic. Oh no. This is gonna get a little weird. Oh man, that would have been a good camera. We might have to do that one again. Huh. It's so awful. Let's do that one more time. Looks like we wasted a bunch of time. You know what we're going to do next time? We're not going to load the cars manually. We're going to load them in a manner that will allow us to, I know exactly what we're going to do next time. I have to reload. Oh yeah, that water is going to cut down the frame rate. Oh, that's kind of cool. Alright, so next time we're going to load artificial traffic, and we're going to do that on a different map. So let me show you guys the final map for the night. So it's actually really handy. I've already recorded video of this map, and well, I can't remember the name of it all of a sudden. Vapor Wave, I think it's called. Vapor Way. So I believe like once in a while you'll watch live streams on various platforms, like, you know, including YouTube, Twitch, whatever platform people play games on. I'm sure you guys seen that generic video where there's like a car or palm trees or like, you know, something that looks something like this. And we could certainly drive automatically, but we're gonna do something a little different here. We're gonna load. It doesn't really matter what car we load, I guess, but I want to load like a reasonable car. You know, maybe like this Japanese car or this generic sedan. You know what? We're gonna load. Let's see here. I know what we're gonna do. Okay, this one's always a tricky one because you gotta like. Have a good night, Floral. Did he say I'm going to bed? Oh yeah, have a good night, Floral. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams are made of something. Something, 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 something. Uh-oh. Oh goodness. Let's load this car up road a little bit, up range a little bit, like over here. Oh, come on! You see what I'm trying to do and what it's doing instead? Yeah, we're trying to load the car like here. Right, that's gonna have to do. It's not quite straight, but I'm afraid to reload it. Alright, and now we're gonna put a couple of we're gonna load some traffic. We're gonna make our lives a little bit easier, even though we're not gonna get as many like high performance vehicles. In fact, we're gonna load one green Mini and we're gonna load a bunch of traffic. So now to load traffic, we do the same thing. We go to AI, but this time we pick traffic. We tell it to spawn normal traffic. And then we don't have to, but we have the option. I learned this yesterday. You can switch between different AI vehicles that are automatically spawned. Like, in fact, there's a whole bunch of them right there. Oh, okay, wait. Now, only problem is I made a mistake. We got to do this all over again. because the mistake I made, I was supposed to basically use this car, and let me think, how do I do this here? So this one's gonna have to flee. Okay, now we're gonna load a number of AI vehicles, right? So what we do is, how do I do this? Oh yeah, I remember now. Okay, we're gonna do AI pause. Then we're gonna do pause, and let's see, it's gonna be flee. No, it's gonna be, that one's gonna be flee, and then we're gonna tell the ATTE to follow, which, actually no, we're not gonna tell it follow. We're gonna tell it flee. Then we're gonna load AI traffic. Okay, then we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let the simulation go. And I've already recorded this like multiple videos yesterday, but I want to add some of that generic, vaporwave music or whatever, and use it as like a stream countdown. I've never done a stream countdown, but I figure it's time to learn. So yeah, the car is gonna flee. Oh, it's not let me switch between the rest of the traffic. That stinks. Oh, I think I know why. Maybe I can switch to AI mode, and now it'll let me switch between different cars. No, oh, that's bad. Okay. So yesterday I was able to get this thing to switch between different cars. Today it looks like it's not going to let me do that. So I have to figure something out. I can't switch between more cars. Okay, so the Juggernaut is going to chase this car. We're gonna spawn traffic. Let's just have one more hurrah. Yeah, it didn't behave the way I expected it to behave. It is, right? Almost like the atmosphere is so messed up that it's purple. It's like sometimes when you get those beautiful sunsets, that's what you're having is you're getting like you're getting that like. So yeah, I don't know why it's not behaving the way it did yesterday. I'm probably doing something wrong, or maybe there's a glitch that allowed it to work the way I wanted it yesterday. But yesterday I was able to switch between the multiple cars without spawning them manually, which I would prefer, right? You saw how tedious it was. And also when the cars are all driving themselves, you can like, oh wait, I think I remember how I did it now. Let's load a couple of cars manually. Knight Rider meets Mad Max. Oh, I hate when this happens. So, there we go. Okay, got it. I had trouble getting the car to do something I wanted to do. Okay, hopefully this works better, but I have a bad feeling it's gonna, like, not do what I want it to do, but we're just gonna have fun. This car goes way too fast, but it's good. That is very Knight Rider-like. Let's see here. Yeah, something vaguely end of the world about it. Agreed, James. This looks like a beginning. This looks like the beginning of a commercial in the 80s. Pop Coach Mechanic. Huh, yeah, it does. It does. It has that, like, Vice City vibe to it, even though it's more purpley. And maybe a little bit of 1980s Tron. Yeah, actually, so there is a map in this game called Light Runner, and it looks a bit more Tron-like. Like the racetrack looks like it's something out of Tron. The vehicles have, like, lights, you know, all over them. Ho-ho! Right, well, he's a goner. The green rally car seems to have better collision avoidance. Yeah, it's overall, it's a more controllable car. Like, you've seen me play this before with the Green Meanie, and that's actually where the name came from. You coined the name, James. You called it the Green Meanie, and it sticks. I call it the Green Meanie when I'm talking to myself. Like, I'll be sitting going, oh, I'm going to load the Green Meanie. But, you know, in all seriousness, it's like a rather versatile car because basically it's a rally car, I think, right? And a rally car lets you do, you know, it allows you to have, in this case, it has all-wheel drive. It definitely has all-wheel drive, so there's that. Let's load some boring sedans. Oh, yeah, and you did call it a rally car. Magnum P.I. crashed Master Robin's Ferrari. I like the Batman, what was it, Batman Forever? When Batman, Bruce Wayne's on a date, and Alfred's calling him on his, like, video watch, and he's telling him that Robin took the car out. He's like, which one? The Ferrari? And he's like, the other car. And he's like, the Lotus? The other car. And he keeps, like, going through the list of other cars. And it's like, he can't tell Bruce Wayne while he's on a date that it's you know, it's, what do you call it? It's the Batmobile. He can't say Batmobile. Yeah, probably a Subaru. Characteristics. He's like, yeah, I know my, you know, I'm quite fond of the Subaru cars myself. I mean, I don't know much about cars per se, but what I learned from playing Gran Turismo taught me that Subarus are cool cars. And when I play, you know, Dirt Rally, I like to drive a Subaru. really see what that ambulance does. What the heck? Also, the green car has very good anti-lock brakes. Like, you could actually see the brake lights flickering to indicate that the ABSs are running. Oh, the snake car is very interesting. Yo! That... Okay, I was gonna say that car was amazing, but it looks like the entire carbon fiber is this guy's, yeah. Now, what could we do instead if that's different? We could tell it maybe, where's the lead car? We could tell them to follow the lead car. Now, look how this map is pretty big. We're going to tell everyone to follow this car. Well, we're going to give this guy a head start. I'm going to tell him to chase the car. So we're going to say, AI, chase me. Remember, telling them to chase the car makes it everyone else move in a very disorderly manner. And that's something that California Ford would never tolerate on the road. California Ford, if driving, she'd be like, how dare you drive in a disorderly manner? Okay, but the other day I watched the stream. How you doing, California Ford 44? I was just trying to make some jokes here, but I couldn't think of a titan that involved Ford vehicles, even though I'm playing a driving game. A car driving. But yeah, this game here, we're doing a little AI driving right over here. Oh! Somebody's gonna need body work. Well, this one is clean. I'm getting a free ride. Oh boy. I think I might have to delete some of the cars here. We're gonna respawn cars. Uh-oh. Did you just see that? Yeah, so sometimes you'll respawn a car, and the car will respawn like inside of or in front of another car. So it looks like you do have to spawn the cars yourself in order to get them to, in order to be able to tab through them like I'm doing right now. And then you press Alt U if you want to get rid of the speedometer. So that's something I do like if I'm like recording a video. So what I was doing was yesterday I was recording footage where the car would just, one or two cars would just drive automatically down to this road. And then, like I said, I can make a countdown or intro with a countdown music on it, So much for superior collision avoidance. Yeah, look, we're looking at the green meanie right over there, James. Like, it's under this thing. There goes the license plate. Looks like a European license plate. We let this guy respawn. Oh, look. He's doing so well. No, this truck guy could really be calling the cops. You need to respawn. You also need to respawn, but I'm afraid to respawn this too soon. Maybe we'll just leave him on. Oh, see how close that was? If I respawned it a second earlier. Have a good night, Pop Culture Mechanic. I gotta run too. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh boy. Oh, woo. That's a pretty nice view. Let's get the there we go. Yeah, I discovered that you can enable additional camera angles last night, and it's pretty nice. Like, I like this. I like that this gives me a lot of creative possibilities. It's a Cybertruck that I kept seeing on the streets. Ah. Yeah, I've been seeing some Cybertrucks lately, and apparently, like, if you own a Cybertruck, apparently the official guidance for the stainless steel. We're gonna reload this guy. We're gonna take him out of his misery. We're gonna take this one out of his misery too. The official guidance from Tesla for cleaning a Cybertruck, and this one too. The official guidance in this one as well. So I'm afraid to respawn it too soon. I'm pretty sure the truck is being like, yep, see what did I say about respawning it too soon? The official guidance from Tesla for the Cybertruck is... Oh, come on! I'm really trying to time the respawnings, but yeah, that happens sometimes. Okay, as I was saying, I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. The official guidance from Tesla Motors for cleaning the outside, the exterior of a Cybertruck is to use gasoline. And it kind of makes sense, because actually I've heard of guys like, I think my father told me about a guy at his old job who smoked gasoline, he bathed in gasoline. And there was a time it didn't make sense, but you know, when I started working with model kits and painting, I started seeing like, really, how did this get messed up already? Uh-oh, it's gonna get run over. When I started working with painting model kits with enamel paint, I found out using Zippo lighter fluid is like one of the best things for removing the paint. Now, it is not the best thing for stripping the paint from plastic models, and I learned this the hard way, but I remember I sent Punk Waddle a message. I'm like, yo, Punk Waddle, I discovered a cool trick. And I'm telling him about how I can use Zippo fluid to like clean the paint off whenever I want to redo the paint job. When you do the painting on a model kit, you get it down, it gets a bit clumpy, and you do it over and over again. And like anyway, turns out he warned me that the plastic would crack, and it did. So yeah, Zippo fluid, great way to strip oil-based and enamel paint, but although it's good on oil-based paints and enamel, it is terrible plastic. Well, at least certain types of plastics. So my point is, if Zippo fluid works for cleaning certain things over, I could imagine that gasoline works really well too, you know, and certain, like, you know, compounds and, you know, liquids, they have these abilities where, like, if you touch free sap, you know, you ever touch you ever get free sap on your hand and it won't go off? Like, this happened to me when I was a kid. I haven't had this problem in a while. When I was a kid, I remember I get free sap in my hand, and you rub your hand in the dirt, that actually works. But I'd imagine gasoline would work really well. I gave my neighbors an idea to get refrigerator magnets and throw it at the Cybertruck and see if it sticks. See if it'll stick. Good idea. I'd say use the rubber coated magnets. Well, you did say refrigerator magnets. And that is key. Use refrigerator magnets, because like there's like rare earth magnets, they're not coated in rubber. They'll leave a scratch, or they'll be way more likely to leave a scratch. Not to mention a rare earth magnet is obscenely strong. But like I remember when refrigerator magnets used to be made of, you know, they had that rubber coating on that outside, if that tends to help. Those things are ugly as F. I don't see the license plate anywhere, and I wonder if I can stick my phone to it to get it charged. I suspect you could during an EMP, because maybe the steel outside would, like, you know, conduct electricity, and then, I don't know, I'm kind of making up crazy ideas. Aren't all cars made of steel, or do they use aluminum paneling? I wonder. It's like, I mean, I'm surprised they couldn't go with like a clear coat or something like that. I'm surprised they went with the straight up steel. I'm gonna guess there's a combination of cost reasons. Now I hear that they have different models of the Cybertruck coming out. So like one of them is gonna have like, I think 3 motors in it. So like the idea is that you combine the motors to, I guess, some kind of gear casing or crankshaft or whatever, and you can multiply. You combine the power of those motors. I watched a guy. He did some tests where he showed that the hitch can snap off if you do some extreme testing on it. Now, maybe don't do extreme testing if you buy a Cybertruck, but there are some valid concerns about like towing capacity and whether or not it's actually up to the test. But in fairness, Teslas are relatively new to the car market, and certain things they're still kind of figuring out. One of the interesting things is that some people complain that that the panel lines are not straight, and it's true. But as it turned out, a way to cut cost was to like not care about the panel lines being straight. And allegedly, according to something I read, Tesla figured out that consumers don't care about panel lines. And I don't know how true this is, but I bet it's kind of true. There's certain people who will nitpick and look at stuff like that, and then there's certain people who'll be like, I couldn't care less, and it's like, if I can save $5 grand on a car by, not having panel lines, they'll go for it, right? Ooh, got a little yawn to me here. Oh my God. What does the inside of a Cybertruck look like? I don't know, but it's got like, that weird glass on the outside. It's like the freaking DeLorean. I like the idea of stainless steel for rust resistance. However, yeah, I mean, there is a big however there, James. When it rains, California Ford says, when it rains, one person is driving their Cybertruck, and where did they put the engine and gas tank? Oh, when it rains, not one person. No, I didn't read that correctly. When it rains, not one person is driving their Cybertruck. Huh. Well, remember California Ford, there is no gas tank. There's a bunch of really dangerous lithium batteries. A bunch of dangerous lithium batteries and a place to plug it in, right? You gotta plug the car in. And they got the superchargers, which only take like a few minutes to charge. You got the overnight charger that takes hours upon hours to charge. You got different options. Some employers, they offer, like as a perk, they'll offer, electric car charging on premises. Those things cannot fit in a car wash, so I'm guessing the Cybertruck is nothing but a refrigerator on wheels. When it rains, the driver doesn't drive it. A refrigerator? What, people don't bring their refrigerators to the car wash? The jokes aside, like, I would think, like, what's the issue with driving in the rain? Except that I can imagine that when you spend that much money on a Cybertruck, people would be paranoid about it. Now, I see people in New York driving around in Cybertrucks, so some people are willing to drive around in Cybertrucks, but now that you mention it, I haven't really paid attention if they're driving in the rain. I think I remember seeing one in the morning, but it always looks like it's overcast in the morning, right? Especially before sunrise. I honestly don't know if those can actually be driven in the rain or not. That would be a huge flaw if they couldn't be driven in the rain, but it would not be surprising to me if a lot of people wasted money on them just to have it for looks. And if they were avoiding driving in the rain out of, fear or concern that it couldn't handle it, I suspect the Cybertruck can handle rain just fine. Flooding, on the other hand, we do know that many Teslas had problems when there was a flood in Florida. And I believe that the lithium battery packs, they need to be able to breathe a little bit. So they can't be completely sealed from the outside. But that's my thing. I was thinking to myself, like, what, they can't caulk it? They can't, put like, some kind of watertight gasket around it, the battery pack. I was surprised that was actually an issue, but it could also be that the real issue is that when a car is flooded with seawater, your electrical connections are going to take a hit. And it doesn't matter if the battery pack is sealed. It's where the connections, the cables come out of it where you run into problems. So I don't think, fresh water is an actual hazard to that setup unless it's flooded. But flooding seawater, or if it was raining seawater, yeah, that would be a problem. Right. Let's go to HTTP. Come on, what the? Okay, I gotta say, guys, if it was my time, I probably would have, like, you know, done this differently. But I'm not reloading everything now because, you know, I should definitely get to bed. Oh, this one's doing alright. If a Cybertruck breaks down, just recycle it as a smart fridge. I mean, do they get is the air conditioning that good? I wouldn't be surprised if they had a refrigerator inside the car, like under the center console. The battery costs more than the fridge on wheels. No, they can't. The battery's outgassed. Ah, yes. So here's the thing, James. I mean, I don't know actually. This is not the thing. I sound like I'm speaking authoritatively. Here's the thing. But it's funny you mentioned about batteries outgassed. So I don't know much about lithium batteries in that particular context. But I learned a little something about deep cycle batteries, lead acid batteries, you know, like in the marine deep cycle batteries, basically car batteries, same technology. And when I was reading a book about World War II diesel submarines, I remember hearing that the ship had the capability of producing distilled water. But the way they would do it is, you know, the diesel engine would run, it would produce distilled water from the salt water, I guess, or something like that. And then the distilled water was not used for drinking, believe it or not. That distilled water was basically all used for the batteries. Because you're right, those types of batteries, at least the lead acid deep cycle batteries or whatever they're called, those do outgas. They, it's electrolysis. So as they're being charged or discharged, they emit hydrogen and probably oxygen as well. And I think they have a way of venting the hydrogen or getting rid of it, but because they're venting hydrogen, it means that some of the hydrogen molecules in the water, the H2O, is being outcast, as you put it, and so you have to replenish that water. Now, what jumped out at me is that this sounds like an opportunity for modern electric vehicles. Like, maybe we should be embracing old lead-acid batteries. Because, like, if that's all you need to do is periodically replace the water, then maybe that should be part of the maintenance plan. You know, like bring the car in every 3 months, every 6 months, or open up the water compartment whenever the water level goes below X level. Like, so maybe have an alarm, and when the alarm goes off, you have to pour distilled water into a reservoir. Like, that would be fine by me, you know? And the beauty of it is that lead acid batteries, like, people are scared of lead, but look, lead, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be playing with lead, you shouldn't be painting with lead, you shouldn't be doing all these things with lead, but as far as being contained inside of a battery, it's pretty safe, it's pretty inert, you're not setting it on fire, although recycling the battery, you do melt the lead, but I don't think it's a big deal. I think there's a way to safely do it. Like, I watched a video of a guy in India, and he basically opens up a large marine battery. He melts the lead out of it, puts it into like a pot or a bowl. He skims it, he gets rid of the impurities, and then he basically like replaces it, cleans the battery out, cleans the plastic box out, puts these little like things that look like they're pieces of paper or pieces of cardboard. It's basically like a dielectric paper properly. And then he pours the lead inside the battery. Then after the lead cools down, he pours some electrolyte in there. Electrolyte fluid, I guess. And then he closes the battery back up. He uses this thing that looks like epoxy or glue that you melt using a flame, a torch, and he reseals the battery pack shut. And so essentially that man managed to refurbish that battery pack. And the only thing he had to really replace was like the electrolyte fluid, which was already gone, and these pieces of paper. Everything else was already in the glue to close the battery up. Everything else was already part of the battery. Like, and I think he also had to do something like attach new electrolytes, attach the metal bits sticking out. And that's the thing. Speaking of hydrogen bubbles, I think it's like either the hydrogen bubbles form on the positive or negative terminals, right? You know, it's sort of like when you use a Hoffman apparatus, electrolysis thing that generates hydrogen and oxygen from water. The positive or the negative is generating oxygen or hydrogen respectively. But I don't know. I mean, like I can understand that like it's more maintenance free to just replace the batteries. But lithium's only advantage, like not only advantage, but one of the advantages to lithium ion cells would be like they do have a high energy density. I get that, but you know, the failure mode of a lead acid battery is a much safer situation. Like, do they put lithium batteries in submarines? Maybe they do, but I suspect they don't. I don't know, I think it would be nice to have options, and I think like storing lead acid is better. Now, lithium batteries are great for e-bikes because you don't want to carry a car battery. I understand that. You want something that's energy dense, so you're willing to have a fire hazard. A friend of mine wants to sell me an e-bike, and I'm like not crazy. I'm open to the possibility, although I like riding a regular bike. I really do. I prefer riding my regular bike. But like maybe for like commuting to the bus stop when I'm running late in the morning, it'd be nice to have an e-bike. But I'm afraid to keep that thing inside the house. Like, I'd have to get an outdoor storage enclosure. If I bought a freaking e-bike, I'd have to store it. Just, you know, he's comfortable storing it inside. I'm not. I looked into it, and they do sell these storage cases for the batteries, but they're more for transporting the battery. They're not really, like, designed to guarantee that the battery doesn't emit toxic smoke in your home. The AI is a bad driver. It's fired. Yeah, that's why Floral wouldn't even hire me as an AI driver. Whoever thought it was a great idea to create the Cybertruck is on crack, and I don't mean plumber crack. It might have been an Elon idea, and Elon's kind of like naturally on crack. Maybe not so naturally, but I like Elon because of his rocket. I really do. Like what he's done with SpaceX, I don't give a shit if he builds cars that, you know, have their downsides. If people want to buy them, that's their, you know, loss or gain depending on how you look at it, you know? I certainly not crazy about EVs. Like, I get into these debates where people say EVs are more efficient, that gasoline engines are heat engines, and that they're only 30 to 50% efficient. But EVs, they're 90% efficient at converting energy into locomotion. But it's like, yeah, if you got the battery charged, is it 90% efficient to go from the power station to the substation, to the transmission lines, to the substation to your house? I don't know, you know, I don't believe in the studies that would argue in favor of that. He's a genius. Elon Musk is a genius, right? But at the same time, like, you're criticizing the car that his company made. Now, granted, there's other people in charge. He's not the engineer, you know? And actually, I have a friend who said he worked for Elon, worked for Tesla. And he said that, like, it was so chaotic. I don't know if this is true, but it sounded like a funny narrative. He said it was super chaotic working for Tesla. He says that, like, in the middle of the night, they'd have to stay at work late because Elon would just have an idea out of nowhere. He'd send an email. He'd be like, I want you guys to paint the walls green or some crazy shit. And then they'd have to stay, you know, in the dealership like an extra few hours to repaint the walls or to do whatever new idea that Elon came up with in the middle of the day or night, and decided to blast off in an email. And that shit sounds absolutely hilarious. Like, I don't know, that's like, I find that freaking hilarious, I do. I've seen some people who bitch about working at, you know, Tesla. I saw other people who were happy. I saw people who were like, oh, it was a fine job. Like, I worked 12 hours, got lots of overtime. They were happy with the overtime, apparently. And their main job was, like, basically driving cars from the dealership floor to, like, wherever you drive them, you know, on the other side of the lot to be picked up. So, you know, that's kind of cool, you know. But I can understand not everyone's experience is going to be the same. Some people are going to tolerate more bullshit than others. And, you know, just to each their own. Get some Mexican car thieves to drive in this game. Well, they don't have to be car thieves. I mean, we got this cab service here. I should hit them up. My boy uses them here. And the Mexican cab services, a couple of them are legit and a couple of them are not legit. And they give you better prices than they give you better prices than car service. They're cool too. I've worked on their computers, whatever. Rossman's car caught on fire. Of course it did. How much do you want to bet Rossman was modding that shit? No, I don't know. I'm making that up. That's slander. That's slander on my part. I don't want to say that Rossman did something that he didn't do with his car, but it would be funny if he was like going like right to repair and he like blew the shit up. Although I don't think he would do something that dumb. He's pretty smart. But yeah, I like the Rocket Company. I like what they're doing. People who don't like the Rocket Company are usually just haters because they'll say that, oh, it actually costs more to launch the rocket under his regime. And it's like, that's not true. It's definitely cheaper to launch a given amount of payload compared to what it used to cost and compared to what it costs with other companies. Actually, other rockets built by other companies like ULA, United Launch Alliance, with Lockheed Martin and Boeing working together or something like that. The other thing is they were saying that the cost of his rockets is more expensive, but it was really because like the cost of a particular thing went up, or it was basically more like almost like an inflation thing. It wasn't like necessarily, it's not like his rockets were more expensive than the neighboring company's rockets. It's that his rockets were more expensive this year than they were last year, or something like that. I'm making stuff up right now, but on the whole, you can look into it yourself and you'll see that, yeah, it's cheaper to bring a given amount of satellites into orbit on a SpaceX rocket. Now, that said, they can claim they're making profit and they have their ways of cooking the books to show they're generating profit. But as you guys know, there's different ways that companies, wow, the color calibration on this monitor is really awful noticing. There are ways that these companies will, show they're generating profit whether or not they are. What I mean by that is, sorry, my brain got sidetracked. I'm gonna wrap up first. Basically, when he gets that big rocket, so right now they got so they had the Falcon 9. The Falcon 9 was basically like after they built the Falcon 1. The Falcon 1 was a tiny, tiny, tiny rocket. It had one engine. The Falcon 9 has 9 engines. They've done multiple revisions of that rocket. And the Falcon 9, they have like boosters, the main core of the rocket, that have launched and landed on that 10 times. So right there, the fact that they were able to take that rocket, fly it, and land it, and use it 10 times. Like, yeah, they had to do maintenance on the rocket in between launches, but essentially it's like little maintenance, add some fuel, but the actual rocket did not need to be rebuilt. They didn't have to strip it down in its entirety. In some ways, the engine was designed, the rocket was designed to have maintenance done on the engines with relative ease, where the engines could be easily removed and swapped out. And that alone saves a lot of money. The thing about rockets, you're building this really big, expensive thing, just so you can fly it once. And, it makes sense that if you want to cut costs, making that aspect reusable is going to help you cut costs. And then from there, they then did the Falcon Heavy. The Falcon Heavy was basically like one middle booster and then 2 more identical boosters on the side. So on the top of a rocket, you have your satellites or whatever you want to bring to space. You want to bring people to space, you want to bring a ship up there, whatever you want to bring, you put it up on the top. And on the side of the rocket, you have additional boosters so that you can have more fuel and more kick, more engines. And one of the first times they had the Falcon Heavy launch, they actually had 2 of the rocket boosters land side by side. If you look it up, Falcon Heavy dual booster land. They had 2 boosters landing side by side, like within seconds of each other. So like one landed a little bit earlier, but they landed next to each other. They had another more recent landing where they landed directly next to each other. It's really cool. Now, the thing is, when you have like a Falcon Heavy rocket, the middle booster often has to be jettisoned because it has to ditch over the ocean. And sometimes it's just tricky to land it on a drone ship. It's like having a robotic barge. It can be very tricky. But nonetheless, that was improvement there. So now, larger payloads. Sometimes the Department of Defense or the National Security Agency, whatever agency, government agency, they'll pay for that rocket to be used in an expendable mode. Because even though, you can't reuse the rocket when it's expendable, you can get it to a higher orbit. You can get it, bring it a greater distance. So it's like there is flexibility. But finally, we got the Falcon Super Heavy. And the Falcon Super Heavy is that big steel rocket that you've been seeing probably in the news and videos that he's been working on, the company's been working on. Not directly Elon per se, but the company. And that rocket's got like a crap ton of engines on the back of it. It's got larger engines, and originally they wanted to have like 100 people on that rocket. And then I think now they're expecting to have like maybe 30 people on the rocket. But interestingly, they're already planning the next revision of that rocket where they're going to make it like a few more meters wider. So if it's like 15 feet wide, they're going to make it 18 feet wide. I forget the number. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember how big they want to make it. But they want to make it like, I don't know, at least 30%. I don't know. They want to make it somewhat larger, taller, and wider. And it's already the biggest rocket, basically, since the Saturn V rocket. And they want to make it bigger still. And the reason for that is, or one of the reasons that makes sense is because in order to truly become a profitable company, they need to build that rocket. They need to make it work. They need to have multiple launches with the Falcon Super Heavy. And once you do have that going on, once they can, launch things, when you build a rocket that big, you can put a lot of satellites on it. You could have multiple satellites faring the same ride faring. And so basically the cost per unit goes down. And once that rocket is fully online and it's like operational, it's working properly, and they get multiple flights and they're reusing the boosters, that is going to have a humongous impact on the cost of bringing a pound of weight into space. Right now it costs like $10,000. Last I checked, it was like $10,000 per pound, I think. It might be more, it might be less. But it's expensive, and hopefully the next step from there will be bring things into space for cheap, and then hopefully we'll get into asteroid mining. I don't know if they're planning on that. The Mars thing is sort of like, don't even get me started. I have a mixed attitude on Mars. Practicing on the moon seems to be the ideal thing to do, because like we want to make sure we practice on the moon before we send people to Mars to get stranded, because unexpected things are going to happen, as a friend of mine said last week. But let's get to the chat real quick so I can get to bed, or get ready for bed, or respond here. AI has already taken over the job market here, because a lady that I know lost her high-paying job and lost her house and can't afford the mortgage. Or was it because of AI, or was it because she didn't adapt? I don't know. I'm being victim blaming here. But in all seriousness, like I remember a friend of mine argued that AI is not going to displace the nurses. AI is going to displace the jobs of doctors, general physicians. Like you tell the doctor what your symptoms are. It tells you what medicine to take. But nurses have to wipe people's asses. AI is not really intelligent. We're going to learn that in some ways AI is going to increase people's workloads, because people are going to have their jobs get easier. Then their bosses are going to expect them to do more work. And, a lot of weird things are going on in that regard. Oof. No, we're not reloading that car. But, it's a mixed bag. It's surprising the large fire for so few batteries, yeah. My point is the AI is so bad that the thief is likely a better driver. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. If any thief is a better driver. I mean, his e-bike when he still lived in New York City. I meant his e-bike when he still lived in New York City. Oh, Rossman's e-bike went off. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that would not be his fault, because e-bikes are super sketchy. AI took a job is why companies here rather use AI instead of real people to work. Yeah, true. Also, I mean, look, like in California, you guys have a more, how do I phrase it? Like, I think you guys have more in the way of labor rights, and that could be good and bad, depending on, what your perspective is. But it sometimes prompts businesses to make decisions that they, to move the timeline up on automation, to move the timeline up on AI, move the timeline up on liquidating, excess staff, because they feel that they have to compensate people more than they care to do, or more than is economical for whatever type of good. I mean, California, no offense, is always making a mess with things. Like, every time I buy a piece of furniture, it has a sticker on the bottom. Yeah, Al. This chair, according to the state of California, this chair has chemicals in it that can cause reproductive harm. Like sometimes companies, like they'll make laws where they'll say that in the state of California, going forward, all cars have to meet this new emission standard. But of course, car companies don't want to build a car for California every year. So on subsequent years, they're building that car for the entire country. And it's like, you know, lawmakers are just like, going forward in 2027, we want all cars to emit this much, you know, exhaust. And then they're just like, our job is done. But of course, the engineers have to now figure out how the hell do we get a car to run properly that, you know, was already designed to work properly, and now you want me to arbitrarily lower the emissions of this car. Like, that has impact on the performance. That has like a ripple effect, a domino effect. So there are times where California, I think, really complicates things in some ways, you know, in terms of like, they're engaging in consumer protections, which can be a positive thing. Like the European Union has a lot of consumer protections, but sometimes it can just be a little overkill, or sometimes I think like they're not thinking it through. It's like some consumer protections are a great idea and are truly beneficial. Other consumer protections are a true hindrance to commerce and affordability of certain types of goods. It was surprisingly Lewis's e-bike was a surprisingly large fire for so few batteries and combustible material. Yes, e-bikes, when one battery goes, like, remember, it's made up of multiple cells, and if you ever see a video of a lithium battery being cut in half, so if you have a fully charged lithium battery and you punch a hole in it, white hot flame comes shooting out of it. That really happens. But anyway, I was thinking about doing an audiobook review, but I think I should probably go to bed. But let me just see if I can pull up my audio real quick. Oh, that's weird. Am I not signed in? Oh, I am signed in. So why did Amazon make me do that? .com. So let me see what else we got in chat here. James, she worked for the same company for years and got degrees because she worked hard for a higher position, and now she's home. That sucks. And now she's homeless and living in a car. It's a Mercedes. Well, at least she got something she could sell. No, it's not funny. I'm sorry. But you know, like, she must be smart. What is she doing? Like, if she's so smart, come on. I mean, I don't mean to be victim blaming again, but I believe in your friend, and she sounds smart. She sounds sharp. I think sometimes we all get complacent. I mean, I can just imagine any of us, if we had a job that we're truly happy in, how easy it is to have the rug pulled out from under us. So I can definitely empathize, because it is one of my fears in general, you know? Nothing against getting a degree, but it's a waste of time and money if the degree ain't gonna land people a job. You know, absolutely. It's like, you know, look, there's like, I think like it's what you make of it. But like, I got a friend who's like an excellent software developer, or, you know, whatever he does. I think he's a developer. And, you know, like, he's interviewed people who got college degrees in comp sci, and he found that depending on the institution, like, if it was a certain CUNY institution, he would be like, yeah, these guys usually don't know anything. And it's the people who are self-starters who sit down and practice learning how to code and doing it, you know, on their own, and maybe even going to a boot camp and getting training. They're the ones who, you know, level up and learn. And you'll learn certain things in university. Like, I remember I took a news reporting class in university when I was attending, and that was kind of cool. You know, learn some random stuff, but like, it depends on what your actual intentional intent is and what career track you intend on getting into. You know, and it's just like, sometimes people get very specific niche degrees. Did my game freeze up? Oh no, I paused it. I don't remember pausing it. Oh, the car. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna. Oh, where's my escape button? Oh, there it is. But yeah, you know, like, definitely, like, it helps to pick, like, getting an engineering degree. Now, some people, like, would say that STEM is everything: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and it's true. But on the other hand, we saw what happened in 2020 when all of the smart people were saying that you should get a certain product, you know, put into your body, or else you should lose your job. And I think part of that attitude, the reason that was a prevailing attitude, was because those people did not take philosophy classes. They took biotech classes. They learned how a cell divides. They learned how viruses work. They learned about molecules. That's all good and dandy and important. But maybe they should have taken a freaking philosophy course so that they might, be able to reconsider. Hey, why isn't my guy talking? Oh, yeah, I turned him off. To think about them, they should be debating them. Like, that's one of the beneficial things of those bullshit classes, like philosophy. It's like you learn to debate moral quandaries. And then instead of, thinking that everything is black and white and being like, science says, you say, well, although the science behind this is perfectly sound, it is also immoral to force people to do this and that, and things like that. Like these are the types of discussions that maybe we would be having more of if those people who got the STEM degrees took a few more philosophy courses or something like that. But on the other hand, if you're taking philosophy, gender studies, and basket weaving, maybe you'll get a job as a, social worker or something like that. But outside of that, it's like, what practical work is there to be had unless you want to work for a university and teach more people? Then great, you'll get good pay, but you're not going to be helping us, on the whole. So yeah, anyway, I do want to thank you guys for hanging out tonight. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope the sound is still good. But real quick, yeah, so audiobooks. So I downloaded the 11th book of the Honor Harrington series, but I didn't even finish book 10, so I got to finish book 10. I found a book called My 60 Years on the Plains, Trapping, Trading, and Indian Fighting, and I look forward to seeing how that book goes. Galaxius. Now, I only got this book because it was written by Stephen Baxter, and he wrote a book called the Proxima series, and it was really good. These two books right here, Proxima and Ultima. So, yeah, check those out. Or don't check them out if you don't want. I like them. Maybe read a synopsis. This book was interesting. Communication Failure, and I forgot the name of the first book, but System Failure, Communication Failure. Basically, it's like a comedy sci-fi book. Speaking of comedy sci-fi books, this book is called Will Destroy the Galaxy for Cash. It is part 2 in a series which started with Will Save the Galaxy for Food. I believe that was the first book, Save the Galaxy for Food. And yeah, once again, comedy sci-fi book. Pretty damn good. Oh, looks like all of the viewers just dropped off out of nowhere. I hope everyone's okay. I hope my internet didn't just magically drop. Let's see here. So yeah, this is the Honor Harrington book that I still have to finish. I still have 18 hours left on of that. Apparently this is one of the Horatio Hornblower books that was released later, but not in, it's only in chronological order. It's not in release order. This is about the ship from the doomed Franklin expedition, but it covers more of the ship's history before the doomed expedition. I don't think I finished Children of Dune. I think I actually got to like a quarter of the book actually beyond what it shows here. But it is a sometimes you got to take a break from the Dune books. It could be a bit of a slog. And for now, I think that just covers. Oh yeah, book 16 of Expeditionary Force. And interestingly, so book 15 was supposed to be the final book of the series, but at the end of book 15, the author's like, so I was talking to my wife and telling her how I love writing the book, and she was like, you should keep writing the book if it makes you happy. So then the guy's like, I'm going to be releasing 3 more books for the next 3 years. So basically he's going to slowly release them like in December or January, I guess. Let's see. Let's see when the next Expeditionary Force comes out. This is also kind of like a sci-fi. It does have some comedic elements. It's not really a comedy sci-fi, but it does have comedic. Oh boy. Let's pre-order that. So on September 10th, I'm going to be the proud owner of Task Force Hammer. Let's read the synopsis of this before we go. And then we're going to sign off. And I do want to thank you, California Ford, for sharing your insights, experiences. I do truly hope your friend is able to make do and find a way to get like a job that, earns some money. And, some people that live in their car, they'll go to the gym or the YMCA or something just to get a shower. Because, you got to show up for a job interview looking like, looking the part, right? You can't show up to a job interview looking like you're homeless, but some places might empathize better. Also, tell her to keep an open mind. But I can also empathize where it's like taking a super low-paying job that doesn't help you get on your feet could be super depressing and super demoralizing. But, just guide her in taking just figuring it out. So anyway, let's read the synopsis of the book number 16. Did I say, or 15? Book 17 of Expeditionary Force. The Merry Bands. The Merry Band. Did my chat freeze up? I'm gonna refresh the page. I feel like the chat froze up. No, the chat did not freeze up. Okay. The merry band of pirates stopped the enemy from stealing a sentinel. Oh, wait, I shouldn't read that. It's like a spoiler right there. The enemy was not what they thought it was. It was much, much worse. They had not a single clue how to defeat the enemy or how to fight it or whether fighting it was even possible. Only one thing was certain. Pirates couldn't handle this fight alone. All right, so I think that covers our bases. So I do want to thank everyone, Pop Culture Mechanic, Floral from Under a Rock, David Glenn, Real Wade Nation, Gaming Nation, and whoever else tuned in earlier. California Ford 44. And James, thank you guys for sticking it towards the end. And we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So anyway, for anybody watching on the replay, if you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please leave a comment. Please like and subscribe. And for now, we shall end transmission. Should I switch my camera to full screen? Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Let's get rid of that. All right. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching.